Welcome to Publishing Power Play. I'm Jana Short, editor-in-chief of Best Holistic Life magazine, and I'm so excited about this episode. I want to talk to you guys about becoming a sought-after magazine columnist and some strategies for success. What does that mean if you want to become a columnist? I know blogging are super hot right now, but here's the thing with that, and some people have exploded with it. But when you're blogging, you're usually posting on your own space, right? They call it a columnist if you're writing in a regular blogging page and you're being featured. But when you're just doing it for yourself, you're only reaching out to the people who already know you. And we want you to reach out to people who don't know you, who've never had the opportunity to get to know you and start falling in love with you and start building that relationship with them on other people's platforms. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the magazine columnist landscape and what that looks like. And it's kind of an overview of the current state of magazine columns. So for us, we're in holistic health and wellness. So we look for people of our landscape. We look for people who are in the holistic lifestyle. And that can mean a lot of things. It could be spiritual, it could be breath work, yoga, fitness, nutrition. It could be mental health. There's like so many things in a holistic lifestyle that we can choose to do differently. It could just be detoxifying your household cleaner, something as simple as that. And people writing an article for us. When I say to be true to yourself, think about who you are and what you do. And then I want you to write on a piece of paper, break up the 12 months of the year into seasons. And so we got winter, spring, summer, fall. And what I want you to do is think about each month, what are your clients asking you in that season? For instance, if you're in mental health, I promise you, the holidays are your busy season. November, December, January, it's super stressful. People have anxiety. They're dealing with financial pressures, relationship stress. So what would your clients be asking you? If you're a fitness coach, holidays, again, busy season. I know everyone wants to be ready for bikini weather, but busy season in the holidays, because how do I navigate the drinking while I'm out and not having those extra calories? Or how do I navigate the big buffets or the dinners we're going to with all the holiday treats? This is your time to answer those questions. Always be true to who you are and what you do. Don't get off topic. Figure out what those things are each quarter. And then keep writing on that, right? Have a powerful title. A lot of people have these big, long titles. I literally had someone give me almost a 2-sentence title. You have to keep your titles short because most of them are going digitally, but they want to grab someone. So if you have a message, make it a subtitle underneath, but your titles are what capture your readers and coming in. And here's the 3 things I want you to remember. A title should pique curiosity, or be something familiar, have a little bit of sex appeal in it. Like maybe do you remember yourself in the black dress, or getting hot and sexy in your new black dress, or hey, black's out, red's in, something super sexy that makes people want to feel that way. The next thing is finding your niche. What is your niche? For me, it's health and wellness, right? But it's not about being in the health and wellness space where I am educating on fitness or educating on mindset. Well, actually, I do educate on mindset because that's my background, but I'm not educating on mental health. I stay in my niche, and I have to figure out what that is by chucking down my clients. So I'll give you another example. I have people come to me and they're in fitness world, or let's use nutritionists. They're the easiest ones for me to show you where they go wrong. I have a nutritionist come to me. I'm like, who's your client? Everybody needs good nutrition. And they'll go on about everyone who needs good nutrition. And so I'll ask them, do you work with pregnant women? No, I don't work with pregnant women because it's really hard. They need to see with their doctors. Everyone's different. Exactly. Do you work with like newborns, not newborns, but babies learning to eat? I do not. So there is a niche for you. So what you really want to do, by the time I work with some of my clients, most of them find that their niche is for women over 30 or over 40 after childbearing years, when menopause starts kicking in and they don't know what to do with their bodies or how to feed it and nourish it like they used to. And so what I want for you to do is niche it down, niche it down. The more you niche it down, I know my client, when I tell them as a nutritionist, you can't sell that way. You can't serve that way. We need to niche it down. They think I'm closing doors on them. But what I really am doing is opening the barn door of the people that are lining around the block to get to that very specific niche expert. So I want you to niche down who you are. Pitching your column ideas is really important. Have 4 or 5 talking points, because out of those 4 or 5 talking points in your niche, speaking to just your clients, in that 4 or 5, you can come up with some really great topics and talking points on that. When I tell you to niche down and I tell you to stay within your brand and stay within your topics, it's super important, because if you're all over the place, we won't book you. We just want you to be who you are today, tomorrow. When our client's article comes out, oh, I don't do that anymore. Oh, that was just a fad article I put in the magazine because it was on holistic health and wellness. We always want you talking to your clients. I'll give you another little example. My very first time I spoke on a big stage was 35,000 people, and it was scary. And there were some big names, people I admired and respect. And I remember thinking, I didn't want to look anyone in the eye because I knew they were going to look over and say, hey, what's she doing here? And me thinking, I don't know, what am I doing here? So I was very nervous. And someone gave me the best advice ever. And they said, Jana, relax. Only talk to your people. There's a reason that there are multiple speakers on a big stage, that they bring in the science guy to all the analyticals and the science and nerdy people so they get fed. They bring in the inspiring person to talk so that they're inspired. They bring in that funny person that's going to make you laugh and get it, wake up again. They bring everyone in as a different speaker to speak just to their people. And so when I did that, I knew that it didn't matter. As a matter of fact, I would open on stages when I go, look, I'm only here to speak to my people. So for those of you who aren't interested in this is a great time to take a bathroom break. For those of you who are like, I might listen, I might not, great. But for the people who I am talking to, you are going to walk out of here filled with everything you need to do this. Do you think they got up and went to the bathroom? Hell no. They had FOMO. They weren't going anywhere. But still, my topic was only to my niche. So always speak to your niche. And when you're pitching ideas, pitch only to your niche. As a publisher, as a person who books with producers, the key is knowing who you are and who you're serving, what you do. Because if you don't know, we don't know, and we're not going to put you out there. Because not because you're not good at it, you just have a little bit more work to do. Building your writing portfolio is super important. As a publisher, I write for multiple magazines, right? I think it's important for me to have my message out there in multiple ways. So, how I said, pick those 5 topics that you want to do or column ideas. I pick those 5 column ideas. I give them 5 different twists, different titles. I write them completely differently, but they're basically the same storyline. I'm teaching about maybe a mindset or a word swap, and use that. Or how do I get published today? Where can I find free publication because I'm not ready to pay for that? Who will invest in me? And so you write about those and you put them out into the world and draw in, just way back and receive. Here's another thing for networking with editors. Look, I'm an editor-in-chief, and I 100% built my entire business on the backs of others because I'm a collaborator. I paid, they shared. I paid, they shared. I paid for their magazine. Everyone gets a free article with me. I pay for that. It's $500 a page. We never do less than 2 pages. So you're getting anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 in a gift to us to go out to 1.3 million people. I pay, you share. Collaboration. That's how I got to 1.3 million subscribers. So I think it's super important for you guys to understand when you're bringing value, what value do you bring? How are you going to share it? And for me, I don't care if you have 5 followers or 50 million followers. I'm interested in those 5 followers. I don't want to leave them out. Our goal is to create a ripple effect of change and hope in the world. What is your goal with your articles? Is it just transactions? If it is, you probably aren't going to transact very well. There is a science that goes behind the transactions for sure. But if your brand isn't authentic, if your messaging doesn't get someone emotionally connected to you, they're not going to release their funds to you. There's no way for them to trust you. So the way we convert that online is usually through connection with others, right? Emotionally. are word of mouth. For me, lately, it's just been word of mouth. Publicists sending people to me, PR companies sending people to me, word of mouth. They know that I over deliver. They know that I show up and I do what I say I'm going to do. And that's what you need to do. And that's how you build those relationships. So building a relationship with editors is super important. Invest in their magazines, read a couple, understand what their platform looks like, what they're asking for, so that when you go to them and say, hey, I love what you're doing. I love how you're connecting on a holistic level. Some of these articles were super incredible. I can see that you're kind of sharing with everybody. I would love to submit, and this is what I thought would be a great fit for your magazine. How do I become a part of that? And reach out to them. Here's the other thing. This is my biggest pet peeve as an editor, meeting deadlines and being consistent. So we do have people who write regular columns for the year. That, by the way, is a paid spot. They had such a great experience with their first article that they've decided they want to have a column for the year. And so we figure out what that niche is, that we don't bring somebody in writing in the same niche, and they have that niche and they write in their space and they write consistently. We have very strict deadlines. For us releasing every 4 weeks, we have a system that works beautifully, and deadlines are hard deadlines. And if you give me something on the deadline date at 12 p.m., I can't make changes. You didn't give me an opportunity to say, oh my gosh, we can't run this article. There's a curative claim in it. Oh my goodness, we can't do this for you, or these photos won't work. We don't have the time to go back and forth and make your article perfect. So we have to do what we have to do by editing it out or changing it. And our writers know this in advance, so they get it in early. So if you want to be a regular columnist with them, get it in early. Make sure they have everything they need. Communicate with their team. Like, are those photos okay? Is there anything else I can add to add value? And make sure that you're communicating with them. And when the very first email they send you, this would be amazing. Send them an email back. Hey, got your email. Just wanted to let you know they are coming into my email box. I have people who wrote and 2 months later, like, hey, did my article come out? We've been emailing you everything. And it went into their junk mail. But we don't know. How are we going to know? So consistency is super important when you're building a relationship with editors. I'm going to go through navigating contracts. It's going to be in the notes. I think you should all read navigating contracts. I would not just be putting it out anywhere to get published. Be sure that you're publishing, you're asking, who are your demographics? Who is this going out to? How often are you getting this? Do you have any analytics I can look at? We are a transparent company, and we are like, hell yeah. Even though it's a free article, I want them to ask those questions. Those are the kind of quality writers or columnists that we look to bring in, the ones that understand the process. So ask that. Here's the thing when you're writing, and I tell you to write emotionally, and I'm going to give you this last tip. When you're writing emotionally, it's super important that you remember this one thing. When you're taking someone on a journey in this story, and for us, you have 900 words to do that. You might have the problem, and the problem is what we call the valley, the pain point, the problem, the dark part, because you're taking them to a peak. Don't stay. A lot of people end in the valley. They talk about all the sadness, the pain that it feels like to maybe not be able to shed 20 pounds or to struggle with depression. And they never take them on the journey to the peak. We don't want to leave our readers in a holistic lifestyle in a valley. So spend a little bit of time on touching the valley. That's what gets them emotionally connected. Get them excited about the journey. Look, I tried this 3-4 times. It didn't work. On the 5th time, it did. And what that led me to, and then get them to the peak of your story. Leave them with what is possible for them. If I read this story, if I connect with this coach, if I connect with this person's services, I feel this way emotionally. You've connected with me. I've tried things multiple times. It didn't work for me. But what if I try with them one more time, the 5th, 6th, 7th time, and I get to where they're at on the peak? So remember, when you're writing a story, don't leave your readers in a valley. Let them understand that this is where we start. This is where we all emotionally connect. This is a journey. It's not easy, but this is how you can feel. Get them to that. This is how I want to feel. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. Listen to the notes. You guys go back and check out the other ones. We'd love your feedback or what you'd like to know. Remember, we do offer a free article to anyone in the holistic health and wellness. Again, my name is Jana Short. I am the editor-in-chief of Best Holistic Life magazine. I'm also the podcast host of Oh My Health, There's Hope on top of this one. And I am a brand strategist, connecting your brand emotionally to the world on a global level. So thank you guys so much for listening to the show. I hope you guys had a wonderful episode, and I look forward to doing the next one with you.